Home is supposed to be the one place where the world stops. But for 2.3 million landlords and 11 million tenants in England, home is about to become a legal battlefield. We've lived under the shadow of the no-fault evictions for so long, we forgot what it felt like to have permanent ground beneath our feet. Now, the Renters' Right Act 2025 is flipping the script. It is a total redistribution of power, hidden inside hundreds of pages of technical jargon. On May the 1st, 2026, the system that has stood since 1988 won't just move, it will evaporate.
11 million renters are set to get more security from a bill banning no-fault eviction.
So the main headline you're probably seeing is the removal of Section 21. Currently, a landlord can ask a tenant to leave with 2 months' notice, for no reason whatsoever. From May the 1st, that becomes illegal. And one of the main reasons for this is to stop revenge evictions and let families actually put down roots. If you're a tenant, you could say your floor is hardening. Because alongside this, all tenancies also become rolling periodic ones from day one. No more being locked into 12-month traps. You can leave at any point with just 2 months notice. But for landlords, well, that safety net is gone. To get a property back, you must now prove specific legal reasons in a court system which is already buckling under backlogs. The accelerated route is gone. You are entering a rigid architect of mandatory deadlines and, as I mentioned earlier, technical traps. So, if you are a landlord, you can't just wing it now, especially after May the 1st. The transition is governed by strict unforgiving dates, which I'm about to run through now. On May the 31st, 2026, this is the deadline for the information sheet. You must serve the official government PDF or hard copy to every existing tenant. Failure to do so, and you will face fines of up to £7,000. July the 31st, 2026. Well, this is the hard deadline. If you served a Section 21 notice before May the 1st, you must start court proceedings by this date or the notice expires forever. The 12-month rule. You are now banned from evicting a new tenant to move in or sell during their first year. If you do evict for these reasons later, you are legally barred from reletting or even marketing the property for another 12 months, so you can't fake it. The higher threshold. Under the new ground 8, tenants must now be in 3 months arrears, not 2, both when you serve notice and at the time of the hearing. That, I must say, is a shocking one. Now, on the surface, the market norms are changing for the better. Rental bidding wars are now illegal, you can't accept offers higher than the advertised price, and rent in advance is also capped at 1 month. No DSS or no children policies are also banned too, and tenants have a legal right to request a pet. But there is a shadow side. To insulate themselves against these new risks, many landlords are raising starting rents to the absolute limit, because they can only raise them once a year, using the new form 4A. The entry price for a home is now unfortunately spiking.
An estimated 18% of new homes for sale, which were previously in the private rental market estate. And in London, that figure is 29%. And a reduction in the private rented sector market harms, not helps, people seeking to rent in the private sector.
As a small-time amateur landlord sells up to avoid this complexity, a new player is stepping into the vacuum. The corporations. I've mentioned these so many times on the channel before. Lloyds Bank via Citra Living is targeting 50,000 homes by 2030. Institutional investment in build to rent is forecasted to exceed 5.7 billion this year alone. We are trading the accidental landlord for the institutional one. While this might mean better maintenance via AWAB's law, which mandates 24-hour hazard fixes, it also means a monopoly on the private rental sector. When a handful of banks and investment firms own the neighbourhood, you aren't just a tenant, you're a data point in a profit maximising algorithm. Something to be mindful of. So, closing thoughts. Phase 1 begins on May the 1st. By late 2026, a national database will track every landlord. By 2028, a mandatory ombudsman will be able to order compensation of up to £25,000. For renters, this is a new era you could say of security, if they can afford it. For landlords, it is a call to professionalise or get out. We are making homes more secure, but we are also making it more corporate, more expensive, and more sterile. In the quest to give everyone permanent ground, we might just be pricing them out of the garden. The clock is ticking. Get your information sheets ready, the map is shifting, and the terrain is new. And as always, if you're still with me at this point, thanks for watching.